I am here for you. It was way too stressful. Did you take a sneak peek outside? There are still cars coming into the driveway. People everywhere. The ladies are dressed in such finery. I'm a bit jealous that we're not allowed to adorn our very own best and join them tonight. Unfortunately not. Mother says that it's an exclusive party only for the people that work for Father's company and of course their spouses. So that's why we are strictly to be put here in my room. More like trapped in here, won't you say? I was afraid Mother might even get out a key to lock us in, but unlike all the fairy tales, it's too bad every door in the house only locks from the inside. This perfume, it's called La Nuit de Bohème. I took it from Mother's collection a while back. It was also on a night much like this one. She let me keep it. But I'm glad you're here with me tonight, though. You're a treasure in my loneliness, you know that. Oh, are you shy? It seems like it, you know that. But that's okay. I know we haven't spoken much before since we live so far away from one another, but I've seen you with Uncle when I was very young. I still remember the first thing I noticed about you was your hair. Such long black raven hair worn by such a dainty person like yourself. I couldn't forget the sight. I love to see myself in this color. Can you imagine it? It'll be such a dramatic change. Hope you like it. Your hair being so long as it is. What? Your mother doesn't like it? About you cutting your own hair? Why, even if it's just a trim? But you'll look lovely with short hair. I think you'll resemble Snow White. How about I cut your hair for you then? Of course, I don't know how. That's precisely why it's such a good idea. If I cut your hair, I'll make it look absolutely horrible. And with all my lack of professional skill and with your duty to keep appearances as your family's child, well, your mother will have to take you to get your hair cut much sooner than later. And then you'll finally be able to throw off all this weight and feel as lightheaded as you wish. Plus, you can blame it all on me. I'm younger than you after all. Your mother will hate me, of course, but it's better than you hating the hair on your head. How about it? Think of this as your first step in getting out of your mother's nest. And you know, once your mother sees how much the upkeep for your hair has been bothering you, she might agree that a bob cut was just what you needed. It's funny, hair grows back either way, but even when we want to cut it, we always seem to hesitate. Yes, can I? Oh, great. Where should I start then? About here. Okay. There, as simple as that. We can't go back now. That's the spirit. It's just about the bravest thing I've ever heard you say. You don't really say much of what's on your mind, do you? But I think that makes you even more, how should I call it? Mysterious. A mysterious beauty. maybe this shall help you overcome it a bit then. As all the important adults are dolled up and partying downstairs, we'll be here in my humble salon as I give you the best makeover ever. Why, yes, hello. I introduce myself to you as the world's most inept hairdresser. With just a snip of these scissors, you'll be at the center of attention no matter where you may find yourself. Oh, perfect. I find this strangely invigorating and so much fun. You knew that I was right in having such horrible skills in cutting hair. Just snipping here, there, and everywhere. Making sure that each strand is uneven and unappealing to the eye. One would think a raccoon came into my bedroom at night and clawed your hair to make itself a home. Well then, I shall make it a very nice home indeed. I absolutely adore the color of your hair. Not only that, but as I'm feeling them now, I admire the thickness and strong quality of them too. You know, nobody in the family has such dark and shiny hair as you. I don't know where you get it. Perhaps a grandparent on your mother's side. I know it might have made you feel like quite an outcast when among us all, but I tell you that a lot of us are actually secretly jealous and just don't have the heart to tell you the truth. You simply stand out in the best way. And you can wear white better than any of us. That makes me think the day of your wedding will be such a bliss to me. You dressed in all white, perhaps in lace or in frills, maybe in silk. Can I perhaps give you a suggestion? If you were ever to get married and have a wedding, would you fancy having a dress code for your guests? A dress code stating that everyone except for the couple must come dressed in all black. No grays or mixed colors, just pure, unadulterated black. Just imagine it. A sea of black fabric with a splash of white, which will be you and your spouse at the center. Wouldn't that be a sight to behold? You must think about it, even though that day may only happen years and years from now. Keep it in mind. Thank you for trusting me to do this pretty you. This reminds me when I pretended to have all these sorts of jobs when I was a little kid. To think I could actually snip and cut hair of a real person. Makes me go back to those days. Well, there. Your hair is now in a lovely, positive mess. Nothing will be able to salvage it unless you chop it all off until your hair sits right below your ears. You're welcome. Now, this makeover cannot be complete without the adornment of jewelry on both ears and the neck. Perhaps we will be able to find the most perfect golds to put on you from this box. It was my grandmother's who passed it on to my mother and now belongs to me. A simple jewelry box, really, but now it shall be a box of wonders which holds the world's most precious pieces of finery just for you, my most special treasure. I will make sure to find the perfect ones for you. Nothing less than perfect. Here is a golden rose to dangle on your ear. Shall we put it on this side? And since it's so boring to wear the same exact piece on both the ears, how about a smaller earring? A coin with the face of Queen Elizabeth on it. Pretty, I'll say absolutely royalty. Thank goodness you have your ears pierced. I would be heartbroken if I had to leave these in the box. But these are the most perfect fit for you. Now for the other side. This earring will be much lighter, but the weight difference shouldn't be too drastic. And pop on your right. Pure luxury gold on both ears. How does it feel? Of course, it looks gorgeous. And I can't forget to adorn that pretty little neck of yours. How about another gold piece with a red rose on it? With the color of your hair and a dainty rose on your neck, no one will be able to resist looking at you when we are able to attend these parties once we're older. I'll have to dress you in a red velvet fabric attire. Voila! May I clasp this on your neck? very sorry if it feels cold to the skin. I've been keeping the box in a shelf that's at the far corner of my room. The corner that gets absolutely no sunlight. Something is missing. Maybe I'll put a headband right over here on top of your head. Putting this one on makes this look a little bit more silly, as if we try to recover your horrible haircut by trying to push all your hair out of the way. But I think it's good to see your face. You shouldn't hide it behind your hair anymore. You're so beautiful. Now, unlike my hair styling skills, I do have a knack for facial makeup. I made up my mind. We must do your face if we already have started on your hair. And all my lovely goods are right here in this pouch. So don't fret. I will do my utmost to make you shine. If Mother ever comes in here, she'll regret not showing you off to everyone downstairs. And look at the beads. This is all sewn in by hand. I tried making something like this once. I got completely stressed out about it though, and lost all the beads in the carpet. I don't think I'm ever gonna make something like this again, but I can appreciate the beauty even more. Now to start off, I got my favorite oil paper. It is rice paper to blot out all the excess oil in your face. I always find it so fascinating and satisfying when I can see the amount of oil that gets on the paper, and then how nicely the skin feels afterwards. Oh, you must use it daily. It truly helps improve the skin. Blotting. Since we're cousins, it seems we both share the same fate of having quite the oily skin. But don't worry, that's why I am here for you. Using a second sheet. Blotting and tapping lightly on your face. Oh, though I must say, you have better genes than me though. Your dark circles are so light, I doubt that you can even call them dark circles. Grandmother, Mother, and I have horrible dark circles. Concealers are a total must for us. But even so, I'll try to use my favorite pot concealer to cover them up for you. This one right here, just a little bit, so nothing feels too heavy. You want it to feel like it's your own skin. Cream concealer is the best for them all. Trust me. Gonna warm it up. Doing your makeup like this makes me think of the past. I did ballet for a good while, you know, and performed quite a few recitals. Nothing special, of course, but this got me thinking how peculiar stage makeup is. Back then, the rest of the girls and I were so incredibly young with literal baby skin. The smoothest and clearest skin of anyone there. But even so, our makeup lady came and slathered a thick layer of foundation on each of us. Drew the thickest and boldest eyeliner, packed on a pound of rouge, and practically finished the whole tube of lipstick in one day. I still remember the heat of the lights and how I hated the feelings of my lashes sticking together every time I blinked. I would go backstage and get reprimanded because they kept having to touch my makeup again and again every time I forgot and rubbed my eyes really hard or roughly wiped off my sweat with a towel. The dancing and music was fun. It was the preparations that would always give me a sort of uneasiness, though. I couldn't understand why something that made the audience so happy and relaxed had to feel like such an anxious rush behind the scenes. I was too young to understand everything back then. Perhaps that's why I stopped doing ballet. I was perfectly content on dancing by myself without all of that. Once I got the basics down, I didn't want to do it anymore. The recitals, I mean. It was way too stressful. But I'm glad for the experience. For the lipstick, this of course. I want to ask, do you dance? Or has your mother ever signed you up for lessons? I think ever since I experienced the grueling classes, I've come to appreciate the art more. I can definitely enjoy every single ballet performance I watch now, knowing exactly how much the dancers have to go through, and not to mention everything else that goes on before and during a performance. Weirdly, one of the favorite things I love to do was wearing my special recital tutus and play, reading, and sleeping in my house. It just made me so happy and free, even more than being on the stage itself. That's when I knew it wasn't something I wanted to pursue for a lifetime. And I think my mother thought I was only in it for the pretty outfits. Though that's not entirely untrue. Even if I were to dress in potato sacks. I would have still loved to dance to the Nutcracker at Swan Lake. A small regret I have, though, was never having the opportunity to dance on the stage under the falling snow. If I had danced for a little while longer, I probably would have been able to dance in the production of Swan Lake and gotten my wish. At least I got to see my friend Wendy dance under the beautiful falling snow. We used to dance together all those years ago, Wendy and I. She's training to become a professional dancer now, a prima ballerina. There is no doubt that she'll be a famous prima ballerina one day. Brings back memories. Oh yes, the powdering, or should I say baking, is essential, especially when dancing under the hot lights. But I'm just doing a light powdering for you today. Well, I used to play with a lot of the girls from my ballet class. I seem to be closer to them than to the girls in my school. Some were older than me, some younger, but Wendy and I were the same age. Plus, she and I lived nearby, so we would always visit each other's houses whenever we had the time. And we ended up calling our parents to ask if we could sleep over all the time as well. I always liked putting on her unique dresses, and she always liked putting on my shoes. Still, to this day, we borrow things from each other's closet. The same exact items, me for her dresses and Wendy for my shoes. I have to say that there are many things we've quote-unquote borrowed, but truly lost because of all those exchanges. I feel sorry that we couldn't do that when we were younger, you and I. I think we would have had lots of fun. And I wouldn't have had to be so lonely whenever we had parties like the ones we have tonight. Oh, look at you, so precious. Even with the hideous hair. You have no need to be afraid of showing your face. I'm not just doing lip service when I say you're beautiful. I don't say that word easily. Only to you, my mother, and my longtime friend, Wendy. Speaking of Wendy, we used to play right here in this room and read Peter Pan. It was her favorite story only because Wendy Darling shared her name. For a while, she insisted that the Wendy from the story was actually her, but I pointed out that the novel was published in 1911, so she relented. Have you ever read Peter Pan? This one right here is my favorite copy. It twinkles when you move it under the light, and the blue cover makes it look as if it was just the book to read for the evening time. It has pictures and even a map of Neverland. really understand all the places until you read the story, but I appreciate the visual nonetheless. Then around, down to the river, to go back up again. Do you see the heart-shaped lake? How cute is that? Would you want me to read a section for you? No, sir. But I would say, since starting from the very first page is a bit boring, how about I start reading at a random chapter? See if you find that more interesting. But if you want me to go back to the first chapter later, I can do that too. We're not in a crunch for time after all. We do have the whole night. And who knows just how long this party is going to take. If you fall asleep, I won't blame you. Now, which chapter to choose? Let's do this one. The chapter is called Wendy's Story. Listen then, said Wendy, settling down to her story with Michael at her feet and 7 boys in the bed. There was once a gentleman. I'd rather he had been a lady, Curly said. I wish he had been a white rat, said Nibs. Quiet, their mother admonished them. There was a lady also, and... Oh, Mummy, cried the first twin. You mean that there is a lady also, don't you? She's not dead, is she? Oh, no. I am awfully glad she isn't dead, said Toodles. Are you glad, John? Of course I am glad. Are you glad, Nibs? Rather. Are you glad, twins? We are just glad. Oh dear, sighed Wendy. Little less noise there, Peter called out, determined that she should have fair play, however beastly a story it might be in his opinion. The gentleman's name, Wendy continued, was Mr. Darling, and her name was Mrs. Darling. I knew them, John said to annoy the others. I think I knew them, said Michael rather doubtfully. They were married, you know, explained Wendy. And what do you think they had? White rats, cried Nibs, inspired. No. It's awfully puzzling, said Toodles, who knew the story by heart. Quiet, Toodles. They had 3 descendants. What is descendants? Well, you are one, twin. Do you hear that, John? I am a descendant. Descendants are only children, said John. Oh dear, sighed Wendy. Now these 3 children had a faithful nurse called Nana. But Mr. Darling was angry with her and chained her up in the yard, and so all the children flew away. It's an awfully good story, said Nibs. They flew away, Wendy continued, to the Neverland, where the lost children are. I just thought they did, Curly broke in excitedly. I don't know how it is, but I just thought they did. Oh, Wendy, cried Toodles. Was one of the lost children called Toodles? Yes, he was. I am in a story. Hooray, I am in a story, Nibs. Hush. Now I want you to consider the feelings of the unhappy parents with all their children flown away. Oh, they all moaned, though they were not really considering the feelings of the unhappy parrots one jot. Think of the empty beds. Oh, it's awfully sad, the first twin said cheerfully. I don't see how it can have a happy ending, said the second twin. Do you, Nibs? I'm frightfully anxious. If you knew how great is a mother's love, Wendy told them triumphantly, you would have no fear